Let's talk about negotiating strategy. As a buyer, you want to pay the lowest possible price, have ample time to conduct inspections and secure financing while risking the least amount of money. On the flip side, the seller usually wants the exact opposite. So, how do we negotiate a deal that actually gets the deal done while at the same time produces the best outcome for you, the buyer? One of the key aspects to developing a winning negotiating strategy is to identify what are the most important objectives before you submit an offer. For some buyers, the top line number is what's most important because at the end of the day, that's what you're paying for the home. For others, they are more concerned about the amount of money they are putting at risk if the deal falls through. And then there are buyers that place a premium on a convenient closing date to ensure a smooth transition. Knowing what's most important to you will not only help us structure the deal, but what terms to prioritize during negotiations. In my last video, I went in depth on the 5 key negotiating terms in the offer to purchase and contract, which are the purchase price, the non-refundable due diligence fee, the due diligence period, the earnest money deposit, and the closing date. I want to take a closer look at the non-refundable due diligence fee and how it impacts negotiations. The non-refundable due diligence fee is the amount you pay the seller to take the home off the market and go under contract while you conduct your due diligence. The mere fact that it is non-refundable makes it significant, but it plays a larger role in the overall negotiations. As you increase the amount of the due diligence fee, you decrease your leverage when it comes to repairs. In North Carolina, the offer to purchase and contract states that you are purchasing the home as is. However, it's customary in our market to negotiate over the items that come up during inspections. So we want to make sure that you don't overextend yourself on the due diligence fee to the point that it weakens your negotiating position when it comes to the repair request. Now, when we come across a seller that is adamant about a high due diligence fee, that is when I reach out to the listing agent and start asking questions. I want to know if there's been a pre-inspection. The way I see it, the seller is asking my buyer to put a lot of skin in the game, but what assurances are they providing the buyer that they are not walking into costly issues? I also want to look at the last time the home sold and ask the current owner if they performed all the necessary inspections. I feel a lot better about a home that has sold recently with full inspections compared to a home that hasn't sold in over 20 years. I also want to know about the crawl space. In our market, crawl spaces are one of the most common issues that come up during inspections because a majority of sellers just don't know the condition of their crawl space. Most crawl spaces require some additional steps to deal with our humidity. So either the previous or current owners have already addressed it, or there is a high probability that it is going to be part of the negotiations. By getting answers to questions like these, we either push back on the high due diligence fee or provide you more assurances on the condition of the home. The last thing I want to point out when it comes to negotiating strategy is the power of patience. If you want the best possible terms, sometimes you just have to wait the seller out, especially if you are looking at homes that just came on the market. It's easier to negotiate with a seller after the first few weeks of showings have come through. Well, that's it for this one. I hope this provided some valuable context while you're developing your own negotiating strategy. My role is to listen to your priorities and lay out the options available so we can secure the best possible outcome for you. Thank you.